What up, guys? So this past weekend at the ADCC and the CJI, I met several of you guys that were new gym owners, new coaches, and you were experiencing something I think every new gym owner, new coach has experienced, which is, especially if you were a competitor and you're someone that really likes to train and make themselves better, you're running into the situation where you feel driven to make your students better. In fact, you probably feel more of a sense of accomplishment and pride when you see one of your students succeed than yourself, right? That's something that I've said before. It's something that many of you guys have shared. But then there's the other side of it where you don't want to let your own skills fall to the wayside, do you, right? You want to improve. You want to get better. You might even want to compete from time to time. And so playing the balancing act, because we know as competitors, we have to be a bit selfish with our time and we have to focus on ourselves. But then there's the other side where, we want to, support our mission and make our guys better. And that requires a certain level of selflessness to focus on them instead of ourselves. So how do you balance those two when it comes time for you to compete or to keep your skills active and growing and everything else? So I was talking to several of you guys, and I'll give those of you watching the same idea that I gave to them. This is something that I've done. So to kind of give you context of where this came from, I was in the situation years ago where I was a brown belt. 2009, 2010 is when I went to this stuff full time. My coach, who had owned the gym and was running everything, he basically passed me the torch and said, "Listen, man, my wife and I, we have to move. The gym, as far as coaching goes, that's yours. You have to run this, otherwise we don't know who's going to do it." That kind of thing. And so the torch was passed to the Chewster. I got to black belt soon after in 2011, and then I'm faced with this challenge of, how do I prepare myself for black belt matches when I'm a black belt who basically only has white and blue belts to train with, right? And I'm still trying to make them better. And how do I balance those two things out where I can compete and at the same time they can compete and win? Because at this point, I felt that really heavy burden and responsibility to try to help them improve because I didn't want to see them not succeed. Because they're coming to me, "Hey, Chewy, I have goals in this thing. I want to go win competition medals. I want to lose weight. I want to have self-confidence," whatever it might be. It's my job to make those things happen. So one of the things that I did that made a big difference is I stopped separating them, right? So a lot of times as coaches, we feel like we have to separate the two, where we can't get better unless, we're taking away from our students, and we can't make our students better unless we're taking away from ourselves. To a degree, that is true. But one of the beautiful things that happens is that if you take care of your students, if you really give to them and you try to do your best by them and you try to serve them as best you can, right? There's this beautiful thing that happens that when you need help, they want to do it. They want to be there. And so what was happening back then is, I didn't have someone that could match me, tit for tat on the mats. But what I could do is I could say, I have 10 blue belts. And listen, guys, I'm getting ready for a competition. I'm going to stay in the middle, and I'm going to try to pass every one of your guards. And every time I pass a guard, a new person comes in, and I got to pass their guard. And if I don't pass your guard, I got to keep going until I pass it, and we'll go for 20 minutes or something. Whatever we wanted to do, right? Something that would just whoop me and push me. And at the same time, they got to be involved in it, right? Because it wasn't that Chewy was getting ready over here in the corner and was like, "Screw you guys." They were getting, a chance to feel the intensity that I was bringing for competitions. So they got to tap into that, this is what this should feel like. And then also, too, they were getting to help their coach get to win, right? So when I go and win a competition, they're a part of that. And there's so many times where I'll go into a competition, like Nogi Worlds, Nogi Pans, or whatever, ADCC trials, and I'll win a match. And it's something that I used exactly the same way in the gym. And like the students are super excited about it. They're like, "You did that to me last week." And they know that they were a part of it, where I was sharpening my skills in the gym. And then, while I'm out there, they're with me. Right? Every one of us, we're a product of our gyms and our surroundings and our teammates. And when we're out there competing and when we're out there winning, whatever it might be, our guys are in there with us. Our teammates are in there with us. And the spirit that they brought into the gym, that's out there with us. And so they get to be a part of it. And so as a new coach, if you're a new coach, if you're a new gym owner, one of the things I would tell you is don't think about separating the two. Sure, there might be a time where you might want to dive a little bit more into the coaching, and maybe you do need more of a push on yourself, and maybe you offload some of the classes to some of the other coaches in your gym or whatever it might be. But you can also think about, what could you do to facilitate your own training to make a great training session for you that would be good for your students, but that would also give them a chance to help you out? Because what student who has been touched and helped and their life has been made better by their coach doesn't want to give back? Especially in that sense, right? They get to help their coach get ready. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. Of course they want to do it. So don't think of them as separate. Think about how you can include them in on that process. I guarantee you, you will have a lot of support from your guys and your gals at the gym, and they'll be ready to do it. And it's a way to, bring them in as a part of it rather than keeping it separate. So for any of you guys that are new gym owners, new coaches, hopefully that helps you guys. Also, guys, if you're interested, I run it's like a quasi-weekly newsletter that I have on my website that goes to gym owners and people that are doing business related stuff inside jiu-jitsu. If you're interested in it, it goes into different ideas like this one and other business related ideas. It might be useful to you. You can check the links down below. It's around here somewhere. You can check it out and join if you want. But with that said, guys, that's the video. Hopefully it helps you guys. I'll talk to you guys next time.